Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in and check out your boy, D-Farm. Thinking right out here in the book in my lab, doing what I do for you. A nice little lesson for you. Let's go. Realism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune into receiving them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission, that's what I'm on. It's to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinkers' way of life through mental and spiritual discipline. Practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. You see where we're going with this? So let's get there together, and I'm going to ask you the question, which is, do you know you? You will when I'm through. That's what I do. It's rhetorical, but if you don't have the answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. Yeah. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous, avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself and always to my yacht with truth. I'm going to give you a little quick breakdown on what we call the daily schedule for yoga practice. Yep. The daily schedule for yoga practice. All right. But before that, I've been a practicing yogi for over 10 years now. So let me just read this quick favor. What's a yogi? I'll break it down for you right quick. Here's the definition right here. From the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, the yogi of meditation. It says, a yogi is one who practices yoga, should abide in solitude. A few years ago, when I started spending time alone, I felt like I ain't got no friends. I said, why I can't, hold nobody around. But when I started getting more into my yoga meditation practice, I don't mind being alone now and reading this. Solitude is your best friend if your yoga practice. That's how you become a master within oneself. Everything you need to do, you need to know is inside you. All right, quick lesson. Another factor is important from practicing meditation and yoga is promoting an atmosphere which is conducive for your regular meditation, and also to be alone. Get used to being alone. I never forget my pastor said, don't worry about it, right? God's sanctifying you. I thought that was funny. Many people think meditation as a practice to which is performed by hermits or people who live in solitary life up in the mountains, the monks and so on. That idea come to mind. God sit in the lotus position. I was gonna do the hecker, but I ain't gonna give you that nonsense. But okay, where we at? But now this form of lifestyle can be conducive for your spiritual life, but only if you truly are prepared to live in that manner. It ain't for everybody. Many people, they dream about how it would be so wonderful to just get away from it all. You can do that physically, take yourself out, but when they finally do it, take a vacation, get away from it all, or move in some other place where they thought there would be more at peace, guess what? They find that they are plagued by the same worries and anxieties. That's what you change, not the destination or the place. You change how you think. If you reflect upon this honestly, what happened? You will understand what? That there is no escaping the world unless you just want to go off the grid. And again, that ain't for everybody. But this is because what? The world is where? Within you. Or rather, you are creating your vision of the world with your thoughts, your desires, your worries, and your cares and desires. So therefore, you carry the world around with you wherever you go. They say, create your own world. You master your own destiny, all that good stuff. That's what they're telling you. If you're doing that, this is what you're doing. So running around, that's it. So running away will not work. This is why the authentic mystical philosophers from ancient times have taught that a spiritual aspirant, right thinker, must not run away from adversities of life. They're going to be there, confront them. I like the David and Goliath concept. They came and told him, "We need you to take care of Goliath." Okay, no problem. I get on that 1 second. Let me go down and get my knee. He didn't freak out because how big he was. He handled his business. Why? Confidence in himself. He didn't care about what he had to do. He gonna do what he got to do. So that was the concept. That's the idea of the story, moral story. Don't let the size stop you from doing what you got to do. Handle your business. But watch this. But must learn. You must learn to what? Understand and handle them. Again, don't run away. Deal with it. Okay? What don't kill you makes you stronger. And this is the only truly way to succeed in life. If you have things that's holding you back because of fear, that's you. Overcoming those fears. The dark side. Oh, everybody Carl Jung call it the dark side. We call it the ego. Same thing. Or the id can be called the id. Same thing. But culture, different names. It means the same thing. But overcoming those fears, okay, implies what? You gaining now the ability to remain at peace and abiding in your awareness of what? Your divine communion with at all times with God. If you know you got God with you, the reason why they don't play the Super Bowl at nobody's home field, why? It's an advantage, okay? If everybody understands rooting for you every time you flinch, they just going out compared to the other team when whatever they do, psychologically that wears on you. So they try to balance the crowd out at a neutral site. That's the difference. But when you got it in your favor, you should take advantage of that. When I had more men behind me, I had no fear. Well, let him deal with that. I feel the same way about God. So I get the concept. Now, watch this. You need to know that you and God are one at all times. When? Even under the most adverse condition. That's when you need to understand him the most. When I had my adverse situation, I said, okay, Billy Badass, you talking that good stuff. Now it's your turn. I rode that wave for 30 days. I just held on. I didn't share it with y'all. No, I just rode that way. Why? To prove to myself, my man, you can't walk it. If you can't talk it, you can't walk it. Why? You got to walk it. If you're going to talk it, you better be able to walk it. So I had to walk it for myself. I did my job. I was rewarded with that too. How about that? But that's why I talk what I talk. Why? I know what I'm talking about. And this ability to overcome is more important and more valuable to you than all the riches in the world. I tell you, I don't do this for the money. Why? The response I get from the people I help, you can't buy that. I don't put a price on that. Nah, it's priceless. But that's better than money. What they just said. Thus, a geographical location does not ensure what? Peace and tranquility. Again, I got my spot. Everybody has luxury, I understand, but you got to carve out your space to do what you need to do for you. That's what I'm saying. By hook or crook, Malcolm, by any means necessary, you need to get it done. So, what is the best way to what? Be alone, even when living in the middle of Boston City. Carve out that niche, find your time. If you plan your day properly, you can create what? Silence, what? And time to be alone. That's your time. In the morning hours, no one is what? Around, and there is silence. You ever been in the house when you don't even want to work? In my house, ain't nobody up when I'm up. I don't have a problem with that. I can just do what I gotta do. So therefore, you are essentially alone. When you got that time, you use it to your benefit. Now, doing your work, you can take breaks. You may even be able to come home as some practice silence time or your meditation. But it's all about you finding the time for you. Prior to beginning your meditation practice, you can practice yoga exercise. But if you are pressed for time now, you can practice what? Breathing, relaxation exercise. These will be useful, especially if you have just what? Come from the dynamic activity such as the gym, and the entire process should take no more than 5 minutes. If you ain't got 5 minutes of your day, out of your day for you, what that say about you? Moving on. What's more important? 5 minutes? Moving on. Simply sit or lay quietly and you focus, concentrate, put your attention on what? One part of your body, one concept, and one another, whatever. But you put that thing on one thing. Beginning, be intense. Your muscles in that particular area, and then what? Release them. You feel the tension and the stress leaving by. Focus on parts of your body. Why? They tell you the mind controls the body. Put the mind there. Put the mind there. That's a little personal massage concept technique that they use. All right, now let's talk right quick about the daily schedule for your yoga practice. As a practitioner and a yogi, you must be able to integrate, watch this, your main practices of yoga, the 5 I told you about before I gave that lesson, but you got to use them at your discretion and when needed. You practice your yoga and make sure you put it into what? Your daily life. Right there. Whatever information you get, you should put it to use where? In your daily life. It tells you that. This means what? This means that you need to begin adding small amounts of time for what? Your prayer and repetition of what? The divine name, meaning Heka, you call out name. You got daily exercise, I'm in the gym. This includes proper breathing, proper positioning, and daily studying of the teachings. Again, silence, self-service, meditation, and this should be what? My favorite, daily reflection. That's called checking yourself. At the end of the day, did you do what you plan to do? Did you do what you set out to do? Did you do everything you were supposed to do the way it's supposed to be done? You check you. Anybody else watching but you and him. And if it's pleasing in his sight, you do it again tomorrow. Okay? You let God be the focus of your attention today. And when the day is over, you did that, do it again tomorrow. Stay focused. But this also means what? That you will, what? Gradually reduce what? The practices which go against what? Your yogic movement, your consciousness, meaning your heart. Things that you know is wrong, you're no longer going to do those things. You're starting to conquer the ego. The ego wants to do whatever. When you start getting the yoga movement, now you will gain more time for what? For shiti. That means profound studying. I do that daily. You should learn something every day. If you observe, listen, and pay attention, you guaranteed to learn something. Even if you ain't trying. Moving on. Below, I'm just telling you, you will find an outline of a schedule. That's the next lesson coming up. Of a schedule for what? For your beginning practice of yoga. The times given here are suggested in the minimum, meaning the least amount for beginning. We say 5 minutes. Again, 5 minutes don't seem like a long time, but when you're doing nothing, 5 minutes is a long time to do nothing but think, focus, and concentrate, aka meditate. Free your mind. It don't take long. You may now spend what? When you get better and get comfortable, now you spend more time, what? According to what? Your capacity to what? to and your personal situation. How much time you got, how often you got to do it, all that relies on your lifestyle. However, always try to be consistent. That's the main thing in the amount of time and the location that you choose to practice your discipline, as well as the time of day that you choose to perform each of the different practices. I got gym time, I got outside morning prayer time, I got lab time, I got studio time. So I got everything laid out and I'll follow it to the T pretty much as I can, unless something breaks that, but that's the format. Moving on, that's what I do. But this will what? Now this will enable your body and your mind. They need to be in harmony. And this to keep what? A rhythm. Your chakras all line up. The body is functioning at full capacity. You can't get disease. You don't get sick. You don't have a whole bunch of ailments. 10 years and running, which will develop into what? A driving force of your day in your regular life. It becomes a habit. When this occurs, what happened? Get him, Scooby. Roll. You will now develop stamina, intestinal fortitude. That's the word, nobody you. It's internal. You start to become, you're internally driven. I'm a self-motivated. I don't need no rah-rah. I don't need that nonsense. I'm a self-motivated. I'm driven. That's what the fortitude is. And when you dealing with any situation of life, in life, when you have those things working for you, that's how you deal with them, and you smooth right on through. If you freak out, lose your damn mind because of a situation, everybody thought when my car got towed up, I was going to lose it. But meet them up when I came out. Police said, "Yeah, right?" She said, "Yeah, you cool." Walk back in the house. I just had to, the old me, I would have been lost my damn mind, but that's the difference. I learned to handle bad situations and still be cool. That's the difference. You will have what? The stability. You will have a stable center, which will what? Will anchor you and keep you what? In your higher purpose in life, whether you are experiencing, as I just told you, prosperous times, when everything is good. It's easy to love the Lord when good going, but watch this. Even in the adverse times, I prove myself in adverse situations. Why? It's easy when it's good. I do that every day. But when you got to ride that adverse train, moving in the advanced stages, of your spiritual growth and your practice, you will become now, it will become what? Continuous. You will act like that all the time. You will conduct yourself like that all the time, even when it's going good. I'm not going to freak out. No, I can't tell. I said, I'm happy as a pig and stuff. I can't tell what I'm supposed to do. Act like a damn fool. See? Again, maintain. No, that's the serpent. Speak me out, okay? Now, try to what? Try to do what? The best, okay? Try to do the best what? That you can. Never mind somebody else what they're doing and ain't doing. God, dog it. Try to do the best you can do and according to what? Your own personal capacity, meaning your own circumstances, deal with them the best you can, no matter if it's good or bad. Again, don't let that dictate how you act. That's self-mastery. If your family members are not interested, and they not, or do not understand, and they don't, what you trying to do, been here, and simply maintain what? Your practice. Damn what they like, what they do, don't do. No, you maintain your practices, if you have to, privately, okay? And try to just keep what? Your interruptions to a minimum. And never, ever try to convince them of what you're doing. As you develop, and you do it, don't worry, you will. Now you may feel drawn, what? Toward some forms of practices, what? Over others. Some things you like better than others, so you gravitate to what you like. Again, when this is knowledge a la carte, take what works for you and let the rest go. Everything ain't for everybody and everybody for everything. But you have to be the judge of that. But the important thing is to always remember to what? Practice them when? at all times in what? In an integral fashion as needed. Having knowledge of something and don't use it when you need to don't mean you have knowledge of it. How you can't prove it? Well, I can't tell. When you show what you know, that's when people will get a better perspective and a better respect for you. Wow, oh well, I know what he's gonna do. Yeah, moving on. When you get at that level in life, you reach that pinnacle of what? Knowing thyself. Do not, understand this, do not neglect any of your daily practices. Why? Even though you may spend additional time on some various others or versus others, no, don't cut corners. Don't short yourself. Don't do that to yourself. Some days I'm on the bike, I get to 2 miles and say, well, man, nope. Maintain. Yeah, you might want to, and if you give in to your wants and desires, you never reach success in life. Why? Because you're only going to cut yourself short. Why? Something that you may want to do, the heart, the mind may not be on board. So you got to be in harmony, working together. But when you're practicing spirituality and spiritual discipline, only, watch this, only during times of adversity, this is the part I hate. I see a bunch of people like this. This is what pisses me off with y'all. Watch this. When you practice spirituality daily, but you only practice it when doing adversity. I didn't give a good hoot about God. When that prison door slammed, oh God. Don't wait till then. That's my point. But watch this. This is what y'all do. Y'all wait. Adversity. When you just study doing adversity, this is a mistake of those who are what? Who are spiritually immature. Okay? Ignorant. Why? That's why. Any form of spiritual practice, ritualistic or otherwise, is to be positive for a positive development. You're doing it to better yourself. However, you will not derive what? The optional spiritual benefits by simply becoming religious or spiritual when you are what? In trouble. Everybody calls on Jesus. Everybody calls on God. Whoever you would call you call him then. I call him every day. So whatever situation I got to deal with, I ain't got to call him. He right there. That's called being God conscious for a more modern term. Okay, I use that philosophy. And watch this. The masses, here we go, of people only pray, what? When they are in trouble. I was one. I know that for a fact. Now I pray every day. Or I'm a prayer warrior. How about that? Not every day. I'm on a prayer line every week. So, yeah, that's become a part of my life. Then, what's this? They ask for what? Assistance in a situation that they got their damn self into to get out of trouble that they got themselves into. I'm a drug dealer. I got caught. What God gonna do for me now? Keep me company while I was doing my time. I appreciate that, and I ain't left him since. But before then, I was pure ego. Okay, so when I got in trouble, that's what I called them. I know for a fact. What they do not realize, and I didn't at the time, is that what if they were to turn what their minds to God. I ain't here to preach about you. I don't do the preaching thing. I'm a teacher. But I do know if you turn your life around and live a spiritually disciplined lifestyle, you will be blessed. So if that's preaching, well, I'm a preacher at that point. But when you turn your mind over to God, at all times, right there, I'm God conscious. I'm God crazy. You can call me, I'm God crazy. Not just in times of misfortune. If you had God with your time, your misfortunes be far and few between. Good people know that, okay? Adversity would not be for them. What it just said. If you kept God conscious, if you kept God in your mind all the time, if you live spiritual discipline, this is what will happen. I can vouch for that. Good experience. Now, as you progress, I'm taking it home right now, but as you progress through your studies daily and living what you're learning, that adversities in your life, they are meant to what? Turn you toward the divine, to get your good attention. You really respect me? Okay, when things are going bad, hold fast. Oh God, oh God. If it didn't come last week, keep doing. Next week, them come. Keep doing. Why? Because if you stop, what you want won't come. That's why. So you, in God's time, that means you keep doing what you're supposed to do. Let me take care of the rest. I knew in order for what I was going to happen to me, I needed some help. Moving on. That's just a concept. Let me get me a little understanding. But in this sense, they are what? Messages from who? To what? Get your attention to awaken what? Your spiritual discipline. Are you really focused on God? Are you really a deserter? Devotee of God? Or you just hoping and praying that you can get something from Him on the no? He knows your heart. He knows your intent. He knows all of that. But He wants to see how you act. There you go. So, however, now, taking it in, if you do not listen to that voice in the situation that's been presented to you, they take the adverse situation to the message, and you hearken to what? The divine and the intent behind it, meaning heartfelt from the heart, now what happened? You will be in position. In order to receive a blessing, you have to be in position. What's the position? The good, righteous deed, selfless service, doing things that you're supposed to do. That will put you in position to what? Experience. Here you go. The mystical experience will only happen if you put yourself in position to experience it. And it's telling you right here, close it out, take it home. The experience more miseries of life and miseries of what? A more intense nature. When you don't do what you need to do, it's only going to get worse. Like this guy we got in the White House. It ain't getting better. It's getting worse. Keep getting every now and again. I'm going to poke him every chance I get. All right. But the lesson, I hope you understood it. When you focus on God, you keep God first, everything else take care of itself. Well, no, I'm not here to debate or argue. I'm just giving you some instruction. All you got to do is follow me and you find out for yourself. Is it work? Most people do it. That's why they do it. Why? Because it works. That's what I'm telling you. I know that too. And in closing, right thinkers, may y'all live to be 100. Me, 100 minus a day. So I've never known my right thinkers have passed away. Get a basic proof. Get a good routine and do your homework. And what? Practice it daily. I do.